So if you are an expert in something because you've been doing it for 10 years, 20 years, or even 5 years, 2 years, but you feel like this is the thing that you can sell it to people, whether it's in a training, a course, coaching, then this video is for you, because I made 80K while working full time doing this very thing, which is selling B2B services. So business to business, my business to another business services. And that helped me do it super easy. I barely worked 80 hours direct service, not in marketing, because that would not be true. I definitely marketed myself, put myself out there, and so that did take more than 80 hours in a year. But in terms of like literally the service that I provided, it was about 80 hours of service provided, give or take, that I was doing for these organizations, where I was able to make that in a year's time. All right. And so with that being said, I really want you to consider, what would it look like if I decided to use the talents that I have to make extra income by just really selling those services in a B2B fashion. Now, I'm one that is not like pressed about you doing full-time entrepreneurship. I am doing that right now, but I'll tell you right now, and I've said it before, Tabitha Brown just had a video recently talking about people need to get a job if entrepreneurship isn't working for them, and I totally agree, because I've been that person. This is like my third iteration of doing entrepreneurship, and I don't see it as a fail, because at the end of the day, my whole goal is financial independence and peace and all the things. And so there's different iterations of my life where doing this was easier, and other times when it was challenging, and I could decide, like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get a full-time job and some packages, and I'm gonna still keep this thing going, because it's a journey and I'm okay with that. And so you get to decide that this journey is yours. And so if you're looking to do full-time entrepreneurship, there's still a great way for you to do that and make the money that you desire B2B. But I'm really talking to the people that you're not necessarily looking to do that right away. You're really just, hey, I'm working this full-time situation, and I'm looking to just start getting my expertise services to someone from a B2B. I just think it's the easiest way, in my opinion. But if you are doing full-time, it's cool. I would suggest, if money is tight, get a job while you're also doing it. That's my real life. I want us to all be great and have these dollars. That's my advice. So I'm reading my notes, if you don't mind. And so the first thing is, think about what you're an expert in. What do you love doing? Like, I love helping people change. I love teaching. I really love pouring into people, specifically women leaders, or women that are looking to transform their lives. It's my thug thizzle. I love helping people make more money. I love helping people really step into the power that I believe God has given us to be. I do have some male clients, but I specifically work with a lot of women clients, all right? So think about your expertise. What do you love to do? What kind of like lights you up? And it is an audience out here that wants your good stuff, right? I want you to also think about, well, what would I charge for this? What would I charge for this? What my expertise value is. Like sometimes I've run into a lot of clients that have a hard time with this part, because they're so worried about the rate, and is it too much, is it too little? And it's like, listen, you get what you focus on. Whatever you decide it is what it is. There is an audience for every level of price it is, and you don't have to be shamed. There was a time where I felt shamed if my prices were too low, but there were times when I felt ashamed when my prices were too high. And so it's gonna be a mental jumping jack, you all. And so what I would just say is like, hey, examine what it is that you're offering. What is the stack of what you're offering as it relates to the outcome that a person wants? And let me give you an example. Because I do a lot of work that is around strategy and personal development, my objectives are not just that someone is going to be, a better leader, more calm, have a better way of exuding who they are as an executive or in their presence. I'm also like, hey, these are the outcomes that you're going to meet, specifically if I'm working with someone in corporate or strategizing with someone in their nonprofit. Like, you're going to have a strategic plan. you're going to have, a team that has these skills because of this training that we implement. So there will be objectives that are tactical, but I'm also one that gives things that are not tactical. So I have a mix of what I offer, and all of those things have a value. So think about the things that you are offering and what is the value that is aligned to it as it relates to your client. Like, your client believing that this is valuable is what's most important. Because we can think it's valuable, but is it though? Is it valuable to the person that you are going to be offering it to? And so knowing your client, knowing the person that you want to offer it to is like hands down the best thing you can do. Researching them, talking to them, having conversations with them is the best thing you can do, so that you can just understand what's important to them. The more that you understand what's important to them, you'll gradually just get better at talking about what you offer in a way that makes sense to them, because it doesn't matter how it makes sense to you. And doing this from a place of abundance versus scarcity. And so this is why I want to go back to what Tabitha Brown said, or what I also say is that when your nervous system is all jacked up because you need the money, you're in scarcity mode, you are going to be a poor seller. And when I say poor seller, I mean poor. Like you'll likely not get people to sell, to buy, because you're being in this poor mindset, this poverty mindset that I have to have it right now. And people can feel that. You know how you feel like people are being stingy, or you feel like when people are being thirsty. It's just like the dude trying to holler, just being thirsty. It was like, who got time for that? I don't want to even talk to you. Even if you probably someone that would be a great person, it's like your thirst is almost making me feel like you want to make me make a decision, and I don't want to do that right now. So people don't want to do that. People want ease and flow. They want to feel like they're in control of their decision. And so don't be a thirst trap. Be magnetic. And the way to be magnetic is when we get our nervous system in a place that is on neutral, calm. Even if we are like working to get our money up, we gotta calm our nervous system down. And for me, I do that in two ways. That's through neuroscience, like really helping me understand how the brain works. Am I locked into negative emotions right now? Like, am I feeling like this fear that I'll never, have the financial abundance that I know is available to me? Like, so is it like locked in my body in that way? But I also use my faith. Like, I'm a believer, so I'd be like, okay, listen, I'm a child of God. I already know that this is available to me. So the person that I know who I am, the identity that I know that I have, ain't no way I'm not winning. So like, that is the kind of energy that you're going to need to have and embody, so that you can sell, offer, invite people to your services from a place of abundance, magnetically attracting them to you, versus from a place of scarcity. And so that's why I always suggest, listen, know what your money life is going to look like, so you're not in this scarcity mode. Be good about, I'm detached. Like, whether you buy or not, somebody gonna get this because I got some good stuff over here, right? Being in that place. So charge from a place of abundance. Like, there are people that desire this outcome so much that of course they're willing to do it. Of course they're willing to pay for that. So feel in that space, and then know your market. Know your market. Every market is different. People are willing to pay for what is important to them. So just know what that market is. All right. And so the next thing is you get to practice. So you have to practice selling your services. You have to practice telling people about your good stuff. When I work with my clients, I talk about this theory, not a theory, but I talk about this concept that I think is funny, but starting a rumor. And so I would have my clients, whether it's them, pitching their business, or they're looking to like put themselves out there with their personal brand, I always say, like, start a rumor. Go out here and start telling people what you plan on doing, and talk about it like it's already done. Like, this is how I literally manifested a 20K client, because one-on-one client, because I started telling people, one-on-one coaching at the time, it's not that anymore, for a year, but 20K to work with me for a year, like that's what I charge for one-on-one. And I just kept saying it. Of course, some people said no, so what? But one person said yes. But I practiced saying it. I practiced, saying it enough, pitching it to different people, letting them know. And before you know it, it was, a great opportunity for someone to, purchase my services based on where she worked. Her place of work, had a budget that afforded her to be able to pay me to do one-on-one coaching with her. And so with that being said, you can have whatever you desire, but if you don't practice it, not just saying it, but like practice believing that it's available to you. This is that part where I say I do a lot of tactical, but I also do a lot of that personal inner work, that faith work, that embodiment work. You have to believe that it's already yours. If you don't believe that it's already yours, you'll never have it, period. And I want you to be able to have it from a place of belief, abundance. It's already yours. You gotta stay on that thing. All right. And so when you do B2B consulting, it can be very easy when you're working full time, and it can be very lucrative, and you have less people that you need to sell your service to when people have bigger budgets to pay you in terms of doing B2B work. So if you like what I'm hearing, then you'll definitely like my 3-day change challenge, because again, this is not just about tactics. You probably heard plenty of videos talking about this by now. I might be the 10th video you've heard about this and you still ain't did nothing. And if that's the case, then you definitely need to come to my change challenge. So my change challenge is September 23rd through the 25th, and it is about changing who you are so that you can accomplish what you're strategizing to do. Because the missing link is who you are, that identity that you're having that's keeping you from being the person that accomplishes the thing that you know is in your head, the vision that God has given you. And so it's about clarity, it's about identity, it's about strategy. I can't wait to see you there. Go ahead and click the link below, and I look forward to seeing you at the 3-day change challenge, because now is the time, not later, to realize what you've had in your head all this time. And so until then, I'll see you in the next video or at the challenge. Bye.